Jefferson's rigorous classical education has prepared them well for the next stage in their lives. Please don't take 8 o'clock classes. I wish from the deepest part of my heart you the best. It is an honor and pleasure at this time to introduce our salutatorian, Cameron Campbell McDonald.
Good evening, parents, staff, and students. I first want to thank my parents and friends, especially Ashley and Jordan, for always supporting me. And without them, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Secondly, I would like to congratulate every single member of the class of 2019. We did it. After 4 long years of high school, countless tests, quizzes, and papers, we finally did it. We survived the endless memorization of conjugation charts, the hours of reading for Ms. Owens, and our senior thesis. We've accomplished more than that, though. Our class is filled with incredible and diverse individuals. We have students going to Africa, Honduras, and Ukraine for mission trips. We have students majoring in environmental engineering to help create a more sustainable future. And we have students majoring in songwriting to create art. Our class is one that's going to change the world, with its drive and its passion and compassion. Our collective high school experience cannot be quantified by our grades or SAT scores. Our high school experience will be forever remembered by the memories of sleepovers, after-school lunches, Friday night football games, and late-night conversations. I'm proud to be part of the class of 2019, a class that thinks a senior prank is spending the night at school. I know that we will change the world in both big and small ways. So each and every one of you, begin the next chapter of your life. Don't forget what we learned here. Remember that when Ms. Lascausa wishes you bon fortune on a Latin test, it will help unless you've actually studied. Remember to thank Mr. Ziegler when you randomly think of a fact you have no idea that you knew about St. Augustine. And remember, always see truth in art, even if at the time you may not completely understand what that means. Always remember to be able to put your argument in syllogism form. But most importantly, remember that the past 4 years do not define who you are. High school is merely the teaser trailer of the greatest movie that will be your life. When you walk across the stage tonight, endless opportunities and possibilities will follow. So go on, begin changing the world in your own unique way. And to quote Ms. Owens, good luck, precious honey buddies.
Is to know how to be appreciative and grateful for the things that you have received. And so I wonder tonight, as I begin my remarks, if you would join me, please, in a round of applause for your parents and your families and your grandparents who have supported you along the way in this terrific education you've gotten. Will you join me? Thank you. You know, these are the days when commencement speeches and themes at commencement is changing rapidly. Not just the world in which we live, or the way in which we need to understand the global village, but even commencement ideas and themes are changing as well. Let me give you an example. For some of us in the audience who graduated from high school in the 60s and even maybe the 70s, the words were keep working, stay very disciplined, be very diligent about the work that you do academically and the work that you might do in the careers and graduate schools you attend. We heard that loud and clear. Perhaps some of the parents in the audience will join me in remembering that. And in the 70s and the 80s, the themes took this turn. Students, you're all brilliant. You're all okay. The Incredibles was the popular movie that year. You're all going to do just fine. Well, now that's still true in many ways. But now I want to share with you some ideas of what I wish people had told me when I was graduating from high school, when the dinosaurs were roaming the land. First of all, instead of the repeated question, what are you going to want to do in your life? What job do you want? What do you want to be when you grow up? A nurse, a teacher, a fire person, an emergency personnel, a lawyer, a nonprofit leader? Instead of asking me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wish the question had been the one I want to put to you today. And that is, what problem are you most interested in solving in this world that we're all living in and inheriting? What is it that is an amalgam of your skills, perhaps musical, perhaps mathematical, perhaps on government and political science issues? I would like you to take that question in your heart with you to your institutions of higher education. And for those of you who are admirably doing a gap year, keep the question, what am I most interested in being a part as a solution to the world's great global problems? And there are many, and we need you. I also wish someone had said to my generation, admired in those days in the Vietnam War, what is it that you would like to accomplish together collaboratively? You are no longer a single person unto yourself in this highly interdependent world. So a second question for you to take with you is, what elements of collaboration will you bring to working with others rather than just working for yourself? That might mean being an entrepreneur. That might mean going to medical school or being in law school, where instead of just studying by yourself anymore, you'll be studying collaboratively in groups. You, graduates of this great classical academy, have the opportunity to be the thought force as well as the workforce, and to combine those into being a thoughtful workforce set of graduates, on into college and university work, and on beyond. The content of human knowledge and understanding is growing exponentially more complicated every day. I firmly believe, and I am openly biased about this, that the education you have received here at TJ Classical Academy is among the very best that you can get in a high school anywhere in the nation. And as Dean of Admission and Financial Aid at Davidson, I got to see literally hundreds and hundreds of high schools in that work. I was dean at Davidson when the concept of this school was being thought about, and it was formed early in the 1999 year, 1998-99. We were so excited at Davidson because we knew the kind of education that all of you could get. Here's another piece of advice. Instead of seeking to have all the answers, I'm asking of all of you to have a better set of questions. Those who have all the questions, all the answers, are not curious people. They are not people who know how to think through a lot of competing different facts or new ways of understanding and urging people to understand better what the set of complications before you will be. So please remember that if I was back in high school, I would want to be told that the better set of questions and a curious mind will carry you much farther than sitting in a classroom in your university and having all the answers, much less graduating from college or university and going forward. It's not important to have the answers, because the answers will be changing. Have that better set of questions. I wish someone had said to me what I want to say to you. Critical thinking, understanding what's said on the evening news, whatever your preference of a channel might be, is not as important as what's not said. Collaborative problem solving, as I just mentioned. Find your way to be creatively understanding some problems that you face. It also means that we can't have data analysis without having ethical analysis. So remember, what you think of as the soft skills in the liberal arts and sciences are actually the tools in your toolbox that will carry you much farther, whatever your major, whatever job you say you might want to do, and certainly whatever problem you want to solve. Now let's talk about being people who are responsible, and I know how responsible this class has been. I've heard this afternoon as I was arriving about some of your accomplishments. Be resilient. Be ready when the going gets tough to say, no, I'm going to figure out how to do this. Take the initiative. You'll find the opportunities all around you in college and university work. Be persistent. Stick with something long enough to know you've made a difference, and then you can let it go. Be clear in your thinking and be even clearer in your communication. That is the lifelong skill for which people will pay dearly in the course of your life.